it's Maddie. Welcome back to my channel. And as you can tell by the title of today's video, I'm going to address what everybody is well aware of, the coronavirus or the COVID-19 pandemic. This was declared a pandemic last week. If you do not know, today is March 18th, 2020. And it is a pandemic now. It is worldwide. It is in the United States, and it is in Wisconsin. It has been in Wisconsin for a while. Unfortunately, it's creeping closer and closer to my place. As is expected, it's going to spread. But I kind of wanted to touch how I feel about it being a diabetic, how I feel about the whole entire situation, share how it's impacting my schooling, which is absolutely crazy, how one little virus can do so much damage. Like, you don't ever imagine having to deal with something like this in your life, and here we are, dealing with a pretty huge worldwide thing, and it's definitely nothing that should be taken lightly. But it is nothing that we really should be worrying about the end of the world coming. This is a virus that most people can survive unless you are extremely immunocompromised or have other health ailments that may put you at a higher risk of contracting the virus and getting sicker from it. First of all, I'll tell you how I feel about being a diabetic dealing with this. And first of all, as a diabetic, we technically could be classified, depending on how you look at it, as immunocompromised. Now, I kind of see it as your blood sugar control is one thing. It's not the only thing, but I do believe the better blood sugar control you have, the better off you are as far as avoiding sickness and all those different things. But also common sense plays into roles. Washing your hands, eating healthy, getting enough sleep for anybody can help prevent getting ill. So to me, because this is a new thing, I really don't feel like classifying people into different categories is one thing. Now, I agree with the immunocompromised, super sick people. Yes, they're going to be prone to almost anything. However, we're all prone to this virus because, number one, it's new. Number two, we don't have a vaccine. Number three, we don't have a treatment. And number four, if people aren't practicing what the government says is, adequate here, social distancing, common sense hand washing, eating healthy, X, Y, and Z, this disease is going to spread and everybody's going to end up getting it until we get a vaccine or some sort of treatment that can really slow this down. So for me personally, I feel like I'm not so worried about being a diabetic. My main worry is having enough supplies in case this gets bigger. I have enough supplies. I had to go out in public yesterday. I absolutely had no choice. I had to go to Costco in the county that they now have one reported case of coronavirus in. And let me tell you, I practiced every single recommendation of staying 6 feet away from people, not touching my face, washing and hand sanitizing like crazy, avoiding anybody that I could in that store as much as possible. Now, it wasn't as crowded as I thought I would be because it's in the middle of the afternoon. However, grocery stores are going crazy. Other places are going crazy. Pharmacies, any type of big box store is absolutely going crazy right now because people are trying to stock up and thinking that they're going to be in isolation. Now, I don't plan on going out of my house for the next 2 weeks. I do have to go out of my house at the end of the month on the 31st for other reasons. I will not discuss those reasons. It's nothing really major, but it's nothing like, I have no choice. I have to go out. A lot of people who have doctor's appointments are getting postponed if it's not an urgent thing, which I could see being a good thing. But as a diabetic, I'm not worried. I have enough insulin to last me through July. I have enough pump supplies. I just picked up Dexcom stuff yesterday. And I have enough low blood sugar treatments here. And honestly, I could just eat raw sugar if I absolutely need to for low blood sugars. Literally, if it came to that point, there is food in this house for me to eat for lows. I've got enough syringes, and I do have 1 pen of long-acting insulin in case I need to return back to multiple daily injections, which I'll talk about in a different video. I am this close to going back to MDI only because of the issues I've been having with the Omnipod Dash. And because of this coronavirus, I don't expect to be getting my new pump anytime soon, and I've been dealing with a lot of high blood sugars. I've cranked up a lot of my insulin stuff, and I'm eating low carb, and my blood sugar is still skyrocketing, and it leads me to believe that this pump is not giving me even the adequate basal insulin that I need because of the issues. But I'm more worried about as a diabetic having supplies, number one. But number two, if I do get sick, the adverse consequences of getting sick as a type 1 diabetic is diabetic ketoacidosis, which is very, very fatal, and it nearly killed me 2 years ago when I was diagnosed with type 1 diabetes. Basically, diabetic ketoacidosis is when your blood sugar goes super high and you don't have enough insulin, and your body converts to burning your own fat and muscle for energy, and it causes ketone buildup. And ketone buildup in large quantities and in unhealthy quantities leads to acidic blood, which basically is like a poison running through your veins, and it can cause organ failure, all kinds of issues, a coma, and death. I mean, it is a huge thing if not taken care of. So as a type 1 diabetic, I'm taking the precaution of not going out in public if I absolutely don't have to. My mother does work at a grocery store. Kind of have no choice to be exposed to her, so she's practicing good hand hygiene. She's trying to avoid sick people. She's actually starting to wear gloves and masks at work now just to keep herself protected. Now, I live in a county in this state of Wisconsin that does not have COVID-19, an active or confirmed case of COVID-19. However, when the news media updates different things like that, they could be a couple days behind. And quite honestly, there could be tons of cases statewide that people aren't aware of, and even other parts of the state that do not have COVID-19 because of the fact that they may not have access to testing. Maybe people aren't realizing that they have COVID-19 from the symptoms. Some people are asymptomatic. Heaven forbid, I could be carrying COVID-19 right now in my body and never get a single symptom. You don't know that. And then you're passing it on to different people and not understanding how the different things work. So, quite frankly, listening to the news is not going to help you. As a matter of fact, it got me so sick on Monday night, I literally was ready to throw up from seeing and hearing everything about coronavirus. It's like, tell me something different in this light. This is a huge thing. I mean, it's impacted schools across the United States. I mean, all schools are shut down in this state, at least indefinitely, or until our governor basically says, okay, you can go back now. So everything is transitioning to online learning. Unfortunately for college students, we can do online learning for certain aspects. However, if you're like me in a health science or a hands-on program, clinicals are affected big time. Our clinic is shut down until April 6th, so I will be missing like 4 clinic days, 3 clinic days of patient treatment, and 1 seminar day in which we learn something different. But I feel bad more for second-year students who are missing probably triple the amount of clinic time I am, because they have clinic 3 times a week. I only have clinic twice a week. And they're inches away from graduating, taking their board exams, and becoming registered dental hygienists. Now, there's not much we can do about it. However, I'm very happy that my college decided on closing the clinic down until April 6th, because it gives us 3 weeks of time to try to slow that peak down, hopefully slow the spread of COVID-19 so that a lot of us can return back to our normal lives here. As dental professionals in training, we're dealing with aerosols and saliva and fluids constantly. So it was almost a matter of time before they were going to shut that down too. And they're shutting everything else down, number 1, to limit the spread. Number 2, so that healthcare workers can focus on people who are super sick, that have cancers, other diseases, and even people that get severely sick from COVID-19, that they can treat them instead of overwhelming the hospital systems with milder cases of COVID-19 that could be recovered from at home. This virus is not the flu. I hear a lot of people say, oh, it's just like the flu. No, it's not. It's quite a bit different. It's very similar in the way it spreads, but it is not the flu. This is way different. We do not have a vaccine for COVID-19 or the coronavirus. We do not have adequate antivirals that even work as of now. They're working on things, and don't get me wrong, I'm sure there are things out there that would work, but as of right now, there's nothing really accessible to the public as far as treatment here. So I plan on staying in my home. I don't plan on leaving. If I absolutely have to go somewhere, I will, but I'm not doing any unnecessary traveling and any unnecessary out of the house trips unless I absolutely need to, and you should be doing the same. If we can unite and do this together, we can really slow this down and not make this a long, drawn-out pandemic. Now, it's going to spread no matter what you do. Unfortunately, like I said, I think there are more cases in my state than they're saying because of testing, lack of testing, delayed testing, people not realizing they have the disease and spreading it to other people. So I think there are way more cases than the 90-some that they have currently confirmed, and there are a few people already that have successfully recovered from COVID-19. So it's a good thing that people are recovering. It's the people that are elderly or the people that are super immunocompromised that don't seem to be having so much luck with recovering from this pandemic. But it's affecting everything. So if you're watching this, I need you to just follow guidelines. Please have common sense. Please stay away from large crowds. They've mandated in this state now that nobody get together with more than 10 people. I mean, we're trying to put extreme measures to slow it down in the state of Wisconsin. Again, I don't know exactly what we're doing in different states. I know what we're doing as a nation and in the state of Wisconsin. I don't know what Illinois is doing. I don't know what Virginia is doing. I don't know what Florida, California, Washington, New Mexico, Arizona. I don't know what they're doing. Any other state, I really have no clue what their protocols are, but I'm assuming they're following pretty tight suit with what obviously my state is doing, or will eventually do that as more cases are being discovered, confirmed, you name it. So if you're watching this, we all need to unite together, and we all need to just use common sense. We need to be precautious and have precaution, but not be anxious. Cautious, but not anxious. That's what I'm trying to practice now. And quite frankly, I've literally not wanted to look at any type of media because of the fact that I think the media is blowing it out of proportion. You don't need to be hoarding toilet paper. You don't need to be hoarding different things and items. And you certainly don't need to be rude for especially people who need supplies or who want to be just normal and going out and shopping when they absolutely need to shop like they usually do. You don't need to go crazy and mad. My mom could sit and tell you stories of what she's seen over the past few days at the local grocery store she works at. She is wrecked from the amount of people that have literally been nothing but rude and horsing around, messing around, literally thinking that they need to go hide under a hole because of this virus. No, you need to take precautions and stay at home if you're sick. Stay at home if you don't need to do unnecessary running, but there's no reason for you to sit and hoard items at grocery stores. And it will come to a point where we're going to have to return back to our daily lives, and we can't sit and fear this virus, but we need to have common sense, meaning don't be traveling unnecessarily. Staying home if you're sick. Staying home in general if you don't need to go anywhere, and that's what I'm practicing for myself. And not saying that I consider myself at a more at-risk group. Some people would say otherwise. I just consider myself maybe a little bit more at risk because I have an autoimmune disease, so I am staying home as much as possible, monitoring myself. I have a little bit of a runny nose, a little bit of like phlegm in my throat, but this is allergies, and you don't need to be scared if anybody coughs. I guess I should rephrase that. Don't think every single cough you hear is a cough of the coronavirus outbreak, okay? There is the flu going around. There are people like myself with seasonal allergies, and you probably could tell by the way I'm talking that I sound kind of nasally. I have a lot of drainage going on in my head and neck, and I know it's not COVID-19 running through my veins here. But don't live in fear, but be sensible. I guess that's all you can really say. There are a lot of people that are taking it one way or the other that think that this is like absolutely nothing to be worried about, and that this is something that we are going to all die from. I sit in the middle. Honestly, this is something we need to be concerned about, but this is not something that probably is going to kill me. I mean, it has killed millions of people and probably thousands of people that I don't even know, and rest their souls, God bless them, and God bless their families, because a lot of people can't even have funerals because of the rapid wildfire spread of this virus. But you need to be in tune with what's going on in your family and what's going on in your life, and just practice social distancing. I'm going to make as many YouTube videos as I can now that I have an extended spring break away from clinic and classroom work. I need you to be praying and thinking about students like myself and younger people and those who are working tirelessly, healthcare workers, grocery store workers, anybody who has to put themselves at risk on a daily basis because they have no choice to this virus. Please be praying for them. And as I said, pray for students like myself, pray for the younger people, pray for the elderly, pray for everybody, because my life is on hold along with a lot of other students. We don't know if this is going to affect my time of graduation. We don't know how it's going to affect my schooling. It doesn't even know how it's going to affect any people who are in kindergarten through 12th grade or high school here. We have no clue how this is going to impact us. There may be some seniors in high school that may not even be able to walk the graduation stage, as sad as it is, because of this virus and because of social distancing. I have noticed that in my state, when I was out yesterday, there are a lot of people that are doing a great job of practicing that. They're sanitizing their hands. People are covering their coughs if they do have a cough. People are covering their sneezes. People are being sensible, and I applaud my state for that. Good job. Great for you. Keep going. Keep doing what you're doing. keep passing good common sense along to these other states, because honestly, the more and more that we practice the guidelines for this virus, the better off we're going to be. So during this time, sit and think about and be thankful for what you do have, because honestly, you sit and take for granted that you could go to a gas station and go out and get something. You could go out and go shopping or go here or go to school, and honestly, that they have all that basically stripped away from you is like, basically, you come to realize how many little things we take for granted, even like education and stuff. And like kids that are going to be stuck not at school, like, yes, they can learn a lot of stuff from home, but I worry about the kids that maybe can't afford to eat. I worry about kids that maybe are not in so good of situations with abusive parents, or parents that aren't providing for their kids, or whatever, criminals, live with criminalistic parents, I guess you could say. Not saying every parent is a criminal, that's obviously not the case, but I feel sorry for those children dealing with this, because this virus has had more adverse effects than just people not being able to gather together. It's having adverse effects on family and friends and all different things. So if you do know me as a friend, family member, whatever, chat with me anytime. I'm going to try to do some live streams on YouTube to try to connect with a lot of you that I obviously interact with over the world here, or over the country, and or in other parts of the world. I'm going to do as many live streams as I can. I'm going to film as many videos as I can to hopefully pass this time while we're all sitting in our own quarantine at home here, basically. Keep being the awesome person that you are. Keep your faith. And honestly, like, God is the only thing that's getting me through this right now, because I can't imagine not believing in something bigger and better that is going to help us through a massive time, a massive crisis in the time here. And you could sit and ask anybody. I don't think any of us would have imagined coming to this point. I knew COVID-19 was eventually going to come. Obviously, with the amount of international travel that's done and international exchange, that this virus was going to come on U.S. soil and to other countries. I didn't realize that it was going to spread like wildfire, and how quickly we would enact and call this a pandemic. Now, like I said, it would have probably been called a pandemic at some point, but I didn't realize that it was going to, within 3 months of it literally being first discovered in China, that we were going to be in a pandemic worldwide. So pray for one another, stay harmonious with one another, interact with one another in some pretty interesting ways. You can FaceTime with people, you can text people, call people, watch TV. I mean, there's things to do, right? Go outside. You can go outside with this. I mean, that's probably one of the safest places you can be. It's going to boost your immune system. You can enjoy the sunshine, enjoy the nature. You enjoy Mother Nature. I mean, there's a lot going on here now in Wisconsin. It's starting to get a touch warmer, considering we're getting closer to spring. So enjoy those things. Enjoy your family. Play lots of board games. If you're like me and you do YouTube, do lots of YouTube videos. I mean, I'm literally going to take advantage of this time as much as possible and try to keep a smile on my face and not worry about the future, because that's only in the hands of God. And my hope is, by basically shutting down most things for the next 2 to 3 weeks, that we're really going to slow the spread of COVID-19, and that we can all really return back to our pretty daily lives. Now, I don't quite think we're going to go back to like in-face classroom learning as far as other things. I have a feeling that all of my classes that are face-to-face will be transitioned to online learning, and at clinicals, I don't know. They say April 6th, but who knows? That could be pushed back even further depending on how this pandemic pans out and how the spread is going. But all we can do is pray and rely on one another during this difficult time. So I wanted to leave you with something that I did find on Facebook, and I found it pretty interesting. And again, you can't take for granted the things that you had. Right. Literally, this, and to me, describes everything that we're going through right now as a human race, as a world together. It says, when this is over, may we never again take for granted a handshake with a stranger, full shelves at the grocery store, conversations with neighbors, a crowded theater, a Friday night out, the taste of communion, a routine checkup, the school rush each morning, coffee with a friend, the stadium roaring, each deep breath, a boring Tuesday, life itself. When this ends, may we find that we have become more like the people we wanted to be, we were called to be, we hope to be, and may we stay that way, better for each other because of the worst. And that's by Laura Fanucci. And I literally, that hit home for me. Like, once this is over, may we never ever again take for granted any of the little things in life. And you know, as much as stressful as my schooling is right now, I would do anything to be back in the stress, enjoying what I'm doing, and be back with people. And it's been hard for me, being a social butterfly as I am, to social distance myself from people. But I'm doing my darndest to do my part in limiting the spread of COVID-19. So anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, give it a big thumbs up. Feel free to hit that subscribe button down below. I post videos every single week about diabetes plus more. Stay tuned as COVID-19 pandemic goes through here. I'm going to be producing more videos, hopefully some T1D with Maddie episodes, to more things personal about me. I definitely want to share some things about my life that you may not even think that I go through. Not like they're bad or anything, but I kind of want to open my heart up to you guys a little bit, because I feel like I've been helping a lot of people with my journey in this crazy ride we call life, and I hope it's helping you to be a better person, or to really look on yourself and just say, you know what, we all go through hardships, we all go through different things in our life. And again, I did not make this video to just throw more things about COVID-19. I honestly wanted to make a logical, sensible video about COVID-19 and just share what I think about the whole entire thing. And I think I put a pretty logical perspective on it. We need to be cautious, but not anxious. So until next time, take care, God bless, be kind, spread positivity, and be thankful. Please wash your hands, please social distance from one another, and please stay safe during this worldwide pandemic. I love you all. I'm praying for you all. From the bottom of my heart, thank you for continuing to support this channel, and I will see you next time. Bye, everyone.